All right, guys, welcome to our Team Legendary call. I'm here tonight to speak on, I'm super excited actually, to speak about building your business. So when I started with coaching, I had a really fast-paced business. So I'm going to actually share a visual tool that I used to be successful in that. But I'm also going to share overcoming price objections with Shakeology, and not the standard way that you're going to see in the back office. You know that in the trainings, we have that access to how to overcome price objections, right? Like what to say. So if you don't know where that Excel document is, it's actually like a PDF document. Go into the training, the news and trainings, and there's actually a template how to overcome price objections. So make sure that you're familiar with that. But that's not really what I want to talk about because that's already provided by Beachbody. So the first thing that I want to do is I'll just share a little very brief snip for anybody that's new to the team or new on the call or listening to the replay. My name is Melissa Sacco. I started as a discount coach I signed up right before Christmas of 2014, I think it was. So I've been in the business a little over 2 years. And I ran this business like a business from the beginning. And that's something that I cannot stress enough. And I know you hear Sarah say it all the time, but I think it's important that the other leaders on the team kind of step up and say, if you want it to pay like a business, you really have to commit and focus on it like it's a business opportunity. So I put my pedal to the metal, and it was definitely a struggle finding balance with time management. I think that's a learning curve that everybody has to go through, but you have to really be committed and invested in the opportunity to help people and just keep going with it and understand that there are going to be hiccups. There are going to be like tremendous obstacles that you overcome, but you got to like enjoy the ride. So I went diamond, I think it was like 36 or 38 days, something like that. And I'm actually going to show you the tool that I used to go diamond because I think it's very important. And I shared this at Super Saturday when I spoke, or Super Friday, whatever it is, but you couldn't really see it. And I actually have the image. I'm going to share with you my screen. I have the image that I used. This hung on my wall. So this is actually this was my business when I first opened it. This was the first way that I understood what Ruby Coach was supposed to look like. That was how I understood what diamond was supposed to look like. And for me, I'm very visual. And so anytime I was in school, I couldn't learn just by listening. I would have to take notes, and I would actually like diagram my notes like in college. Like I would have like little pie charts and stuff. That's just how I learn. So I think it's important that you recognize how you learn. So if you're an auditory learner, visual, and you really take action on that. So this is what hung over my desk. Didn't have an office back then. I was not a full-time coach. I was actually just a discount coach, and I kind of thought coaching was foolish. But I talked to Sarah about, how to progress my business. Because my goal, if I was going to be in this business, was to earn an income. This wasn't something that I wanted to do for free. Although I love to help people, I didn't have it in my time, like to do this type of business for free. It had to become a job, or I had to get another job. So I really took some time, my first 30 days, and I went on YouTube and I understood the value of becoming an Emerald coach, becoming a Ruby coach, and becoming a Diamond coach. And understanding what Team Cycle Bonus was. And I had to watch that video like 26 times to understand because I didn't get it. Like, I don't get cycling. And finally, I realized after like the fourth time, it didn't matter if I understood the pay, because the pay doesn't happen if I don't find the people to help. So I put all of the income on the back burner, and I only focused on this image. So I had myself at the top, and I had my husband, and I had my best friend. And when my best friend started, she actually did contemplate coaching. And so she had achieved Emerald Coach at one point, and then decided ultimately that the coaching was not something that she wanted to pursue. And now she is still just one of my discount coaches. She is at the top of my organization. And I keep telling her, if you ever want to coach, you're in a really good spot. So now my mom is, she is now a Diamond coach. But I had these names filled out. And next to this piece of paper that hung on my wall, I had another piece of paper with a list of names of people that I thought would really benefit from the health and fitness opportunity that really loved health and fitness. A lot of my friends from the gym were how I built my business. And so I would fill these names in. And I think that was such a sense of accomplishment. It wasn't about the paycheck. It was that I was learning the business and taking action and actually getting to physically write these names in. So this was my roadmap. And that's truly how I built my business. But what I want to talk about tonight is overcoming price objections. And I think that is something that is like, raise your hand if you struggle with hearing it's too expensive. A lot, right? That was my biggest sticking point at the end. It really wasn't about, well, I really didn't want to drink a shake. I thought I would hate it. I liked food so much. I like food a lot. So I didn't think I would really like it. And then I had my sample, and then my final objection was 100% price point. So I want to share with you guys how I overcome price objections. And I'm not going to say that I never get them, because I do get them nearly every day. I think when you invite to the intensity that I invite, you're bound to get price objections. But here's a couple of top tips. So the first thing that I will ask is, are you committed to coaching? Because that's part of overcoming price objections. And what I mean by that is, even if you don't earn an income, are you going to be a loyal customer? And are you going to continue to use these products and programs despite not, getting any sales? Is it something that you're going to incorporate into your nutrition? And if the answer is no, you're going to have a really hard time overcoming price objections. You have to have that really strong belief in the value of your product. And I do. I 100% do. I just had a conversation 20 minutes ago with somebody who missed 3 days of Shakeology and their stomach is a mess and they need to reorder. That happens to me. I've missed 3 days in the last 2.5 years, and I've had digestion issues 3 of 3 days. I really believe it helps me. I really believe it helps my husband stay on track as a heart patient. So I'm not going anywhere. And I think when new coaches start, a lot of people will say, I really need to earn an income in order to make Shakeology happen for me. And what I want to challenge you to do is figure out a way to make Shakeology happen for you without relying on it. Okay, so how I did that was I restructured my grocery budget, because now my mom was originally paying for my groceries, but I wanted, not for me, I wanted to teach people how to fit it into their budget, because I knew that it was a struggle for me. So I started tracking my grocery budget. From the first month that I signed up as a Beachbody coach, I tracked my own grocery budget. Even though I wasn't paying for it, I started saving receipts. And I started setting a target for myself to reduce my grocery budget by $200, my Shakeology and my husband's. And I did it. And that, I think, knowing that I could do that by just simply paying attention to it, allowed me to be confident enough in my invite to really share with people, listen, when you join a challenge group, I'm going to teach you how to grocery budget. I'm going to teach you how to not throw out food every week. I was driving by a billboard this week. If you ever go downtown, if you're in Buffalo, on the way back, there's a big billboard on the left-hand side, headed on the 190 South, and it said something like, the average American throws out 290 pounds of food a year. And it's so true. It's one of the biggest questions that I ask in my challenge groups, and even on my public page and my like pages, how much food do you waste? Because when people are not aware of their spending and their objection is price, there's something going on there where you have the opportunity to come in and say, let me teach you in my free group how to save money on your grocery budget. Okay, so that's why I run free grocery budget challenges. And I ran one in January, and I had people saying, holy crap, like I can't believe I actually stuck to a $150 grocery budget. Like it's possible when you are aware and you meal plan. So having a belief in your product, being committed to being a coach, whether or not you earn an income, and being able to figure it out without your Beachbody income is what is key. Because when you're talking to somebody and you're like, oh, well, I figured it out because my coaching covers it. What if they don't want to coach? Like, you can't use that as a price objection response, because not everybody is going to want a coach to pay for their Shakeology. So if that's your response, you're not helping them overcome in their mind, like, how am I going to pay for this? So another thing that I will say is, in regards to being committed with the Shakeology and the Beachbody programs and being committed to the business, are you signed up for Summit? I was terrified of signing up for Summit. And I remember Sarah telling me, and I remember my husband's on the call. I say hello. Hi. Because, you know, he's in the biz now. So I was terrified. Actually, he can come on because
I think you guys should rename. I think you guys should rename yourself to Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
What?
I think you guys should be called Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Oh, all right. So I didn't even want to tell him about Summit, but I wanted to go. Like, part of me just clicked, and I was like, I have been home with my kids, sacrificing everything for what, 8 years? Like, I haven't done anything for myself. I want this. And so I brought it up to him, and his, you know, how much is it? I said, what if I earn a free ticket? That was my goal. Success Club 5, 3 months, gonna earn a ticket. Okay, so I think I paid for my ticket and I got reimbursed. We took the family minivan to Nashville. Don't ever do that. Like, it was not a family train. Like, this is a business training. This is nightlife. This is amazing parties, but it's also business. And so I felt really guilty for going to the trainings, and then I didn't enjoy the night parties because I was like, my family's back at the hotel, but I made it happen, I guess is my point. Like, I was committed from the first day. So if you don't have, who's going to Summit? Like, who has their ticket, who purchased their ticket? If you don't have a ticket and you're not invested in your business, how can you expect anybody else to be invested in you? Like, it's a real question. So I knew when I chose Sarah as a coach, we see Beachbody coaches in our feed all the time. I wanted a committed coach. I'm going to start talking about, I'm going to Summit. Like, I'm going to start talking about it now. So people see, wow, she's really like, she's in this business. She's committed, right? People will buy from people they trust and people that are committed. So if you are not committed to the business and you're not showing up, it's going to be really hard. So while there is that PDF file in the trainings about how to overcome price objections, that's not going to help you if you're not building that relationship first. And so the next thing I will say is sharing what you believe in. And this is something that I have completely kind of flipped over the last 3 months. I'm no longer thinking of an invite when I'm posting. The way that I have really transformed my posts to social media, especially with what we have going on now with Eli and what we had going on with Mark with personal development and our relationship, is it's educating people and giving them tools for their success, whether it's a book, whether it's a fidget for a kid with anxiety, or how to get them to go to a sleepover. I'm always sharing value so that people know that anything that I say, I believe in, right? I'm very transparent for a reason. It helps people, but it also helps me to build that trusting relationship where I can help people on an individual basis. And so sharing everything about your life. Hey, buddy, you want to say hi? Say hi to the team. There's the man. There's the man. We had a decent day today, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Yeah, rough morning. Okay, excuse us for a few minutes. Okay, bye. So just really sharing who you are and building those relationships. So when it comes to the part where you're presenting the challenge pack price, it's a lot less intimidating because you've already had 26 other conversations with these people. If you're struggling with the invite process or the conversation process, I learned from GoPro. I didn't read it till probably 6 months into the business, and I fumbled and failed on a lot of my invites for 6 months because I didn't, actually it was longer than that because I definitely, there it is, GoPro. I didn't read that till, I lied, 11 months into my business. So the first year was me like duck underwater, like really, really struggling to have it all make sense. So those are like those are my suggestions for overcoming price objections. And one other suggestion that I will say is write down the people that give you the price objections, and when you're writing their names down, think about all the questions you've asked them before. Like, do you know what their work life is? Do you know what they have kids in sports? Like, where you can relate to them and say, hey, I also have 3 kids in travel hockey, and this is how we've made it work, though. Going back to the meal planning and the grocery budgeting, I learned to meal plan from the 21-day fix. That's how I learned it. So when I'm getting on the phone with people, I never send a link for a challenge pack without getting on the phone, ever. I get on the phone with every single person that I enroll with a challenge pack. Whether it's right before they purchase or 2 weeks before they purchase, I'm constantly setting up phone appointments because it saves me time in Messenger. Like, to go back and forth with somebody for 2 weeks and to type all this pricing information out, it's intimidating. They have to filter through it. So I really don't send price in text ever. I set up a phone appointment. I say, let me run some options by you. So much faster because there are discount opportunities, and I'd really rather just take 10 minutes to really make sure I understand what your goals are, and then I'll give you your best options and you can decide what's going to work for you. And I always put it back in their hands, and I give them that opportunity to enroll as a customer or a coach. And I explain the discount opportunity for every single person, and I'll also present the coaching opportunity during that conversation for every single person.
And just to interrupt you real quick, Melissa, because am I echoing or is it just me?
I don't hear an echo.
I'm echoing. Okay, so I just want to emphasize, sorry to interrupt, but this is like, it became aware to me very much today. So this is me shitting my pants saying this, but I'm looking into becoming a fitness competitor and what it would take. So did those words come out? Did they come out of my mouth? So I, was in touch with a couple coaches, and the one coach was like, I said it, and I thought of Beachbody coaching right away, because he was like, okay, I'll send you a meal plan. It'll be this, and I'll send you this, and it'll be this. And then if you want strength, it'll be this. Let me know, and I'll set you up. And I was like, ew. I didn't have that vibe. And I thought of us as Beachbody coaches and how we're like, well, let's step back. And this is exactly what this other coach did, and said, well, what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? What are you hoping to, do with these, next few months? What would you like? And guys, that's what we are as coaches. And I was like, I need that personal attention. 99% of people, because we are people, want that personal attention for someone to say, well, wait, step back. What is it about you? Why does this interest you? What is it about it? So, whether you get on the phone like Melissa does, which I love, because it is that personal attention, that might scare the crap out of a lot of people. Do you have to do exactly what Melissa does to be successful? No, that's just one way she does it. But when she's talking about that personal connection, I can't tell you how proud I am to say I'm a coach, because I give that personal attention to people to say, what's going on? What do you want to accomplish in 30 days? What is it about the Shakeology that you like? Would you be willing to commit to 30 minutes a day? So before I even talk about, like, I have people all the time that will say, I want in on your challenge group. I always say, well, hold up. Let's see if this is a fit for you. Because I'm not a salesperson. I'm here to help people. So let's talk about what it is about you that's going to make you be a fit for this challenge group. Because if you are 100% willing to not say, I don't want to do workouts at home, it is 100% not my thing, we're not going to match up very well. So the more questions you ask, like Melissa said, the better you're able to, if they have that price objection, when you do talk to them, to say, well, listen, let's talk about this $160 that you're investing for the year. We're looking at this as, you just told me you want to lose this weight for the wedding. You just told me that your nutrition is awful. You just told me that you're so tired. Why not try this with a 30-day money-back guarantee? Why not try it? Because you're giving me all the reasons of why you need to try it. And then step back and let them answer. So Melissa, I just want to tap into that because
Yeah,
I'm kind of going through it right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want that personal attention, that if I'm going to dive into something that is scary, is the scariest thing I've ever done in my life, I want to know that I have that personal person rooting me on, not just trying to make a sale.
Yeah, I absolutely, that's why I think it's just it's just a final step that it's almost like it becomes so natural because you've had this conversation going with this person. You've taken the time to learn about, like Sarah said, what their goals are. I mean, Sarah took 6 months building the relationship with me. And I think, like I said at the beginning, you've got to be committed whether you earn Success Club 5 or Success Club 50. You've got to be committed to being here because people take 6 months to come on board, or a year, or sometimes they sign up for a challenge group and they return it, and a year later they come back again.
That was my coach,
that's
Sarah Mingle.
She
did the exact same thing. And Melissa, you're so right. Like if we all look back on when we started, when did you first think, maybe this is for me? Mine was like over a year. So.
And I didn't really even believe it was for me when I launched my business. And there were definitely times when I was like, God, I'm so overwhelmed. I just can't, I don't know how to learn this. Like, there's so much information. But I think just taking a step back on those days and showing up the next day and realizing, like, it's just like with Eli going on right now. Every day is hard. Every day is hard. But every day I have the chance to either show up and do something different to get different results, to get better results, or I tag out and that's it. Then I fail. So I think, that's just, those are kind of the ways that I overcome the price objections start well before I present the price. It's all in sharing my belief in the products and programs and being invested in it, really learning about people, being willing to have conversations. Now, a majority of my conversations are messaging or in groups up until that final conversation. And that's when I get to chat with people on the phone. And that's something that I didn't do for the first 18 months of my business. So if you're a new coach and you're like, I just can't, I totally get it. Personal development will help you be comfortable in getting on the phone. Like even Mark, he listened into a call because tell them what your biggest struggle is right now, like where you're uncomfortable.
Well, just getting comfortable with the whole process, knowing how it works, more the knowledge of the business.
Because we've been working as a team, but he's just been kind of open ears, kind of being a product of the product, sharing it by wearing it. He does the wear and share, and he talks about it sort of, or has been, but now he's actively learning the business and really wants to open his own thing, right? Like we'll run co-groups, but maybe he's going to be running some separate groups on his own because he wants to take that ownership. And there's such a pride in taking the time to learn it and take action. I just love, that I've been able, and I'm going to show you what I've built in my free page so that you can learn and do this too. So I took Patrick Reelman's call, who listened to Patrick's call. If you didn't listen to it, go back and find it in Legendary because it really changed the way that I have decided to run my business going forward. So I'm going to share my screen again. And I'm going to show you what I've done with my free group. Let's see here. So I opened this like page when I first started, and I hid behind my like page for about, a year and a half. Because I was scared of getting in trouble on my personal page. That was one of my fears is you're not supposed to run a business on your personal page. As long as you're not providing sales links, you can share. And we don't sell. Nothing I ever did on my like page was salesy. I mean, except the times during my first month that I posted Autumn Calabrese' face and not my own, that was salesy. But I think that's every coach kind of is uncomfortable putting their face on it. But think of your page as you. It's not beachbody.com, it's melissasacco.com, right? So this is kind of where I hid on my like page, okay, I opened it on New Year's Eve and I was like, and then I was scared to invite all my friends. But what the problem that I'm experiencing is it's not getting any views. It's not getting any traction. It's not getting any engagement. This is a post from tonight. I mean, who doesn't like wine? Now, if I post that on my personal page, it's going to get traction. So things tend to really slow down on a like page, like 121 views on this video, right? So when I go on my personal page, this is where I run my business now. I am maintaining my like page for long term because I know eventually, like I said, you got to be committed. And I know I'm going to tap out someday on my 5,000 friends. So I'm just maintaining. A lot of my posts are duplicated, you'll see. But I'm really primarily working on my like page. I'm tagging as much as I can, tagging my friends just to get my name in other people's news feeds. Even if it's not about Beachbody, I'm still tagging people all the time. And I'm just sharing value. But with Patrick's call, I realized I had this like little project that I could start. So I had a graduate group and it was called, I don't even remember, Changing More. And it first opened because I didn't want to lose connection with my challengers from months 1 through 3. I didn't know what to do with them. And so I opened this graduate group, and everybody that completed a challenge group with me went into this Facebook graduate group. And it was just kind of like a fun social setting. But about 2 years into my business, it completely fizzled out. Like nobody was posting in it. I wasn't really even creating content. And I realized that I was missing this opportunity to essentially build my business in a private group like Patrick taught. So what I've done is I revamped it. I gave it a new name, but I kept everybody in it. And this is now our co-led free group. So in here, I have a pinned post with a generic YouTube motivational video and a little bit about what this group is, what's expected of people that are being added to the group, how they can join smaller groups, and where they can find value within the group. And I think that is huge for building a free group. So what I've done is I've gone into the Files tab and I've created resources for people. Simple resources. Resources like I filmed a video this morning. I'm going to teach you how I put that in here, okay? I got a ton of hits on this video that I posted about organizing my fridge. I put it on Make the Change. So what I did was I went in to make the change and I copied the video link, the web address from the video, and I just created a file and I put the Facebook link in. So now if anybody asks me like, how do you save money or how do you meal plan? Fixate has an awesome Autumn Calabrese tutorial, but they don't want to see Autumn. They want to see you because you are their coach. I don't want to keep explaining the same thing over and over again because I don't want to work all day. So in here, I have my tips for how I'm successful. And so what I'm doing now is I am adding value to this free group so that when people join it, I feel super comfortable and confident inviting them to the free group because I know it's a good group. Like I know there's a lot of resources. I have all of our personal developments, suggestions. I created a Google document, which is something that I didn't learn until like 18 months into the business. And I wrote up a little blog about why we believe in personal development as a couple. And then I gave our top recommendations to help people get started in their personal development journey.
So Melissa, just to backtrack you, because this is amazing information, but it's a lot when I'm thinking of like new coaches.
Yeah.
So would you care if I just asked you a couple questions and then had some people ask you questions?
Yeah,
too?
no, go ahead. Because I was about done with sharing.
Okay. And I don't mean to cut you off. I don't want to overwhelm new coaches because I know I'd be like, okay. I'm still like, oh, okay. Like I don't even do that, guys. So when you first started, you were a discount coach. And I know that we built that relationship and it was very laid back. It was very much like me, like, why don't you just try it? Like, what do you have to lose? So when you sat down and you thought, okay, maybe this could be here, stop sharing so we can see you. At what point, where did the light switch? I'm talking to the coach, January 2015. So new coach mind frame. What did you do to build your business to diamond? Is that, I mean, because I think a lot of people, because the thing is whether you're a new coach on here or you're an older coach, you should always be building your business to emerald every month, meaning you should at least be adding 2 coaches to your network every month. Once you have that mind frame, your business will naturally grow. So I always say go emerald every month. So to the Melissa back in January 2015, because I remember you asking me, and I was like, she's in, and we talk about this a lot, but at what point were you like, the switch went and you were like, I'm going for this and this is what's happening, and how did you get there? Because I know we only have like 8 minutes left. So
the flip switched when Mark said he would be my first customer.
Okay.
He was my biggest naysayer. He was the biggest objection that I had in signing up. And he wasn't saying, well, I'm going to join and I'm going to actively coach and work the business. He was just saying, I'll do the program with you.
Right.
Like, shit, if I can get him to do it, like, and I didn't even ask him. I just was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm sorry if you don't want to do it, but I got to do this just for my own health. And
so
now
you signed him and then you signed your mom, right?
I signed my best friend and then a couple other people. My mom was like, my mom's always late. So I sent the link and I was like, Mom, did you sign that link? Send that link. And I missed rank advancement, I think, 1 week because she just like didn't. I would have hit Ruby and she didn't do it. And then I ended up going right emerald to diamond.
Can you explain why rank advancing was so important to you?
Because you said it would help me build a business. That was it. Like
Melissa, if I told Melissa to eat dirt, she'd eat dirt in the beginning. But that was the thing. So as you built your business and you built to diamond, it's not like I'm diamond, I'm making thousands. That's a big misconception.
No. I just knew that I think I just really enjoyed the challenge groups. Like I really enjoyed the coaching, like the helping. And I became really quickly addicted to that, not the money.
And you ripped off the Band-Aid of being, very exposed on your page. I remember your melon post. I love the melon post and funny and authentic. And she held up 2 melons and I was like,
it was terrible.
But I think that,
I just did.
But that's the thing. You just did it. You didn't, we all have fear. And I'm going to speak for Melissa. We all have fear when we're posting something of what somebody might think. But I think it got to the point where the fear was less than what the opportunity could hold and how many people she could help. Because that's really kind of what I think balances out the fear when you start to get that momentum to go, wow, this could really be a thing. I don't care what my ex-boyfriend from high school is thinking of me or that girl around the street. Like it kind of starts to outweigh it. So when you've built yourself to diamond and you have that price objection and you think about the people that are like, I'm going to be the girl. Okay, Melissa. Oh, I can't afford that a month. Go.
Well,
what would you say?
You don't have to do it every month. It's just 30 days. It's your first 30 days and see how you feel. It's cancel anytime and you can return it if it doesn't work.
But what if it does work and I have to pay that every month? I can't afford that.
Then I'm going to teach you how to maneuver your grocery budget like I had to do because I couldn't afford it either. I'm offering to teach you how to do it. You can't say no to me offering to teach you. You can't.
Okay, another price objection.
Or you can, but then you're not ready. And then I say, okay, well, I do have a free group and you're welcome to join the free group and just kind of get really healthy, positive lifestyle tools. And that's the group that I showed you. So I never disconnect. I always invite them to something else. And again,
that's why it's so important to have a group.
That's what takes me back to GoPro. Is you're always inviting to the next conversation, even when there's an objection. And I accept no because, well, I mean, I don't want to say I accept no, meaning it's the end. I said no 6,000 times. So in my mind, I'm just wanting to keep that relationship going so that if and when they are ready, they're going to choose me over another coach because I've maintained that relationship by still giving them free value, whether they join the free group or they just stay connected with me on my personal page. And I write down, I have a list of names of people that I follow up with every 3 months. And I keep moving forward and I keep starting new conversations. And that's why this free group is working for me, because on my like page, I wasn't getting any new likes. And if I was paying to boost ads and paying, I was spending more. I wasn't really getting valuable likes. But now I'm able to comfortably invite to my free group, and I'm adding, my goal is to add 3 to 5 new people a day to my free group. That's the pace that I want to run my business at. Now, Mark said to me this morning, I don't think I can maintain that. I don't think I can do that. Like, is this what you tell new coaches? And I say, no, this is what I do. You have to pick your pace and just be realistic with the growth that will come from your level of investment in your business.
And it's kind of like you're a mom and you're looking at it like, well, I breastfeed, well, I formula feed. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just about doing it. So another objection I know a lot of people get, and I'm just going to throw these at you because I know we don't have a lot of time, is I wish Shakeology wasn't so expensive.
Well, I wish it was too, but I mean, who doesn't? I wish Keds were cheaper too. I mean, I don't get a lot of that pushback. I would honestly respond with a sarcastic, like, yeah, me too. Wouldn't it be nice? But you can still make it work. It's just about shifting your priorities. Like, where are you spending your money now? It's kind of like, do you have the time to coach, or can you make the time to coach? And one of my questions is, and I ask this one a lot when people say don't have time, how much TV do you watch? Mm-hmm. Well, I watch 4 shows a week. Well, that's 4 hours you could be putting into your business. And he'll tell you, I went cold turkey on TV. Like, I just stopped watching TV at night. And it would frustrate him a little bit because instead of watching a TV show together, I was now learning the business. When the kids went to bed, I would watch an hour of YouTube instead of an hour of whatever. And for me, I was like, but we're not talking anyways. Like, we're watching The Biggest Loser. We're not talking. We're watching TV. Well, now you watch this and I'm going to watch this. And I don't get it. I was so focused on just learning that, but that's how I did it. I got up earlier and I stopped watching TV. And it's kind of like I started meal planning and I stopped throwing out food. And that's how I saved money. I think people just don't, sometimes they struggle being consistent with it.
Right. I know we only have a minute left, but I really want you guys to ask the questions in Legendary so that we can all answer them, whatever it is. And even if you're, getting a question that you really don't know how to answer, I know a big thing is the whole transitioning that I've talked about a lot, is people saying, well, I'm building the relationship, but now I don't know how to go to that next step. Like, I get nervous. And I say, but if they're following you and you're consistent on Facebook, it's so easy to say, hey, have you been following me? Have you ever thought about joining an accountability group? And people are so afraid to do that. But let me tell you, the people I've reached out to this past week, they're so afraid to reach out to you and ask that question. That's what I got on every single challenge pack sale that I've had this past week. Oh my gosh, I've been watching you and I've been so afraid to ask you about your accountability group.
Yeah. There should be no fear. I have no expectations of people, so I'm not scared. It's just a question. But it is scary at first. It's really scary to